Why does it look like a little window? Okay, so a quick disclaimer. I've been living in Germany for a little over a year now, and these are just things that I've experienced in the time that I've lived here. If you are living in Germany or are German and you know where I can get these things, please let me know down in the comments and I'll be really happy. Thank you. Okay, so my bangs are a little overgrown now. I'm gonna try and cut them. These are the things that you'll need. Some scissors. I do not have hair scissors, reluctantly, but I do have these very nice kitchen scissors. Hopefully they do the trick. Also, you will need a comb. I do not have one. So I have a brush. And that's pretty much it. So, I guess, look at yourself. And then decide what you want to do, I guess. I want to keep the bangs long on the sides and just trim them in the middle more. So, yeah, okay, we're gonna try this. And some things that I'm really missing about Canada, now that I've been in Germany for long enough to notice it, are, well, first of all, I really miss Bulk Barn, actually. I'm pretty sure Bulk Barn is Canadian, but in Germany we don't have any like bulk stores. We only have package-free stores, which are sort of the same, but they are very, very expensive. We tried to live a little more package-free. So I remember we went to this package-free store and bought like a little thing of chia seeds or something. And it ended up costing like 5 times what you would pay at a normal store. And so, yeah, that's not great. And then also, I know in Canada, like in Safeway, they always have the little bulk section. They don't have that in the grocery stores either here. But they do have produce. A lot more produce without packaging. So that's one thing. Okay, so now, oh gosh. Try and take out the long hairs if they're kind of like misplaced and they should be on the sides. I have a few. Because you don't want to like accidentally cut long hair that's not supposed to be cut. Okay, and then I guess grab your scissors and start your engines. Actually, something funny is the neighbor who lives below us is apparently a hairdresser. I could probably go and ask her for hair scissors, but I'm kind of afraid of her. So I'm just not going to do that. These are working quite well, so thank you Mom and Dad for the lovely wedding gift that included these scissors. Okay, so another thing that I really miss from Canada actually is Value Village. I love it now. I wish I took more advantage of it when I could. I love that there's so many options and it's normal store times because it's like a normal big store, but then also it's so cheap. Like, you get really good things for not a lot of money. I've gotten like really nice cashmere sweaters there for like $6 and they're in like perfect condition, and I love that. In Germany there are secondhand clothing stores, But to be honest, they're more like consignment stores, and so they're quite a bit more expensive. We went into a few and they were so overpriced. It would be like a used shirt for like 20 euros, which is like 30 Canadian dollars. And I'm just gonna wait until I go back to Canada to get stuff like that. But one good thing that they do have in Germany is they have these flow marks. It's like a flea market. And those are really nice. We've actually gotten a few home things. We got a big mirror from there. Then you can kind of bargain the price a bit. So I think we only paid a couple of euros for this nice mirror. But the thing about that is that you have to wait for the markets to open. And they usually only happen maybe 4 times a year. And in the bigger cities, I think like once a month. It really depends on like where you are in Germany. If you're living in a big city, or if you're living like us, we're quite a bit more rural. So we don't have access to that very often. But they are pretty good. And you can get some really nice things for very good prices. But of course, the difference is that you can always go to Value Village or like other thrift stores in Canada. Oh, and the other thing about the flea markets in Germany is that they're not as... there are some big ones, but because they're like set, it's like a community event, then there's hundreds and hundreds of people that come to them and look at stuff. So it is difficult if you're looking for something specific. It's hard to do that because there's so many other people at the same time shopping, and usually they only last. It'll be the morning until like really early afternoon. And so it is difficult to get the stuff that you are looking for. Okay, so another thing that I miss a lot about Canada is the cultural diversity. You would think in Europe there's so much more diversity, and in some places there are, of course. You can't really talk about like the huge centers, but in my area, I live in southwest Germany. I would say though that the predominant cultures are German and Italian as far as the biggest influences. In our direct area, and all of the villages surrounding us, there's really only German restaurants and Italian restaurants. Even in the smaller cities close to us, there will be like, there's a really good Korean restaurant that we like, but there's only one of them in like this huge radius of space around us. And I know there's a few Greek restaurants, but predominantly, yeah, it's really only German and Italian. And then I think for that, just like the world view is so small. I feel like in Canada, even in my little city, we had so much influence from other places. We just had so much knowledge, even if it's predominantly through cuisine and like restaurants and stuff. In the small city that was close to where I lived in Canada, there was like endless availability, endless options of different cultures. How does it look so far? No idea. Okay, so another thing that I really miss about Canada is, strangely, campgrounds. So as kids, we would always go camping. It was pretty normal. And I remember it was so fun. We would drive around the campsite. We would search for the nicest, most treed-in little spot to put up our trailer or our tents or whatever. But As far as I know, in Germany, they do have a few campgrounds, but really they're more like trailer parks, so they're not cute like in the trees. They're all just kind of like lined up and you would park your trailer there. So this one especially, if anybody knows where there's like a nice cute tenting campground in Germany, can you please tell me? Leave it in the comments because I want to know. I've been searching for one on the internet and it only comes up with these like trailer parks. So if you know, please let me know. Share your knowledge. This is difficult without a comb. How does it look? Is it good? Is it uneven? I can't really tell. Should it be shorter? You know what? Why not? I'm just gonna make it shorter. So the last thing, not the last thing, but the last thing I have on my list that I really miss about Canada, and probably one of the things I miss most about Canada, is the land. I miss the huge diversity in the landscape. I lived in the prairies, and now when I think about it, they're so beautiful. And like I really miss going to the mountains and the lakes. My wedding was actually in Waterton National Park. Like, it's so beautiful. And yeah, I don't know. I know that there are the Alps in Germany, but just like the Rocky Mountains, it seems so homey because there's so much like life in them. And you know, I have so many like memories there. Are they worse now? I don't know anymore. Why does it look like a little window? Alright, I'm just gonna say this is good enough. I miss the mountains and the lakes and pretty much everything that you do in them. All of the activities. Yeah, I really miss those. And then also just like that, the prairies, how they seem so endless. And you can look out and you can see forever, it seems like. I like that a lot. So I do have to say that Germany is wonderful and beautiful, and I really do like it here. But it's still not home for me yet, and I don't know when or if that will be, and I don't know if it should be considered like home. I don't know. But for now, I'm looking forward to my next trip home again. Back to Canada, back to Value Village. Bye!